Hey folks, welcome back to the channel and welcome to this very special cabin. This is the huge mine track cabin here at Liddel Water Lodges. This cabin sits right next to the river Liddel, which you can probably hear right now. And what makes this river really interesting is this is actually the border between England and Scotland. The mine track cabin is a 250 square meter log cabin, and this sleeps up to 10 people in 5 rooms across 2 floors. It looks out from the side of the hill high above the river with views across to the Scottish side of the border. As you look out, you can see just above the tops of the trees that are all situated right along the side of the river. This cabin is hand-built from huge, locally sourced larch trees, and I'm stood on the large balcony that runs right across the front and the side of the building. Out front of the building there is plenty of parking, and all of the fun stuff like the hot tub and the fire pit and things like that are all situated at the back of the building. So the main space at the mine track cabin is a vast open plan dining, kitchen and living space with views in every direction. The huge logs that make up the interior walls are cut and carved to fit in with the modern elements like the windows, the bifold doors. This log cabin is a real fusion between kind of classic rugged structure with the modern functional features, and the two complement each other perfectly. The kitchen is very well equipped to cater for the 10 or so people that this cabin can accommodate. It has 2 full-featured modern ovens with a plate warmer. It has a standard hob that sits on the L-shaped island and a pop-up extractor fan, which honestly I don't think will ever get old. To go with the 2 ovens, there are 2 fridges which we've loaded up with food for our stay, and it has plenty of other storage space, a wine fridge, enough cutlery, utensils, mugs, cups, glasses for a football team, and it manages to have all of that without feeling cluttered. The tea and coffee setup is an espresso machine with plenty of pods, or they provide ground coffee and cafetiere if pods aren't your thing. And for the tea drinkers, they provide, normal breakfast tea and an assortment of herbal teas. The plants and the wood features dotted around the space, mixed with the giant timber walls, add a really rugged feel, but with all the luxuries and conveniences of a modern kitchen. The lounge and dining area are also part of the open plan living space. The huge main table has 8 seats around it and sits right in front of the huge bifold doors that open out into the veranda. So while you're eating dinner in Cumbria, you can be looking out across the border to Scotland. To finish off the living space, we have a large 4 or 5 seat sofa with 2 armchairs and then some floor cushions scattered around. There is a 60-inch TV and a soundbar for enjoying some, family TV time. But if you'd rather keep the screens off, there are plenty of interesting books to read, particularly if you're interested in cabins from around the world. There's an interesting contemporary looking log burner with a giant basket full of dry logs, along with kindling, a newspaper to light the fire. The fireplace comes prepared to be lit when you arrive, so if you're not someone who is familiar with these things, you should still be fine. But if for some reason you would rather not light the fire, then it isn't necessary to heat the space. Away from the main living space, back towards the door, is the feature staircase, which is a hand-built staircase built around a tree, and you can still see all the features of the tree. It almost looks like it's coming out of the ground. It takes you out of the luxury for a moment, and it gives this really rugged and unique feel to your journey up the staircase. Up the bespoke staircase, across the mezzanine landing overlooking the doorway, are 3 of the 5 total bedrooms in this space. With all of the bedrooms in this cabin, they've made a really interesting design choice that I love. Rather than having one giant bathroom, they each have an ensuite of their own. This is a really great design feature, as this cabin is big enough for multiple families or groups of friends to come together for special occasions. This bathroom layout means that everybody has their own space, and there'll be no fighting for showers and things in the morning. The 2 north-facing bedrooms have huge full-length windows that overlook the river, and when you look out of these windows you can really start to feel the scale of this cabin. You're high above the ground and the river below, but you can still see the roof peeking out over the balcony below. One of these front bedrooms is a double and the other is a twin with the two beds pushed together. The other bedroom looks back onto the hill behind, which makes for a really cozy, almost cocoon-like space. Even though I love the views across the river and towards Scotland, there's something really special about this back room. It somehow feels a little closer to nature. Each of the bedrooms has a fixed TV onto a kind of sectional wall which has a space behind it, which is a really unique feature and a really interesting way of positioning the TV in the room. Each room is dotted with interesting, thought-provoking books. There's something to discover in all of them. And while these rooms feel a little bit more domestic than the downstairs space, you get a hint of those giant timbers that make up the walls of the cabins. Back downstairs takes you to the other bedrooms, and you have a large double with an ensuite and those chunky walls. Then you have a kid's bunk room. All of the bedrooms are ensuite other than the bunk room, which is directly opposite the bathroom for the main space. As you head through the downstairs bedroom, you get to the back area with the hot tub, the fire pit and the seating area. The hot tub is a 6-person large hot tub, the sort of thing you would expect for a space this size. And the fire pit is perfect for building your own fire, cooking up some food or cooking up some marshmallows, or even simply lighting the space. The cabin is filled with loads of interesting artworks, compelling books, unique details, and all of the locally sourced delights that are left for guests by the owners when you stay. And now it's time to pick my standout features from this cabin. As a photographer, I'm always looking for the unique and memorable features, and for me, this staircase is it. It's big, it's bold, it's something to talk about, and it's these features that add the real character to a space like this. It's interesting to imagine that the tree of this staircase was once just a small sapling. Another standout feature for me is definitely going to be this veranda. This balcony or veranda is absolutely huge. It really is its own space, and it stays mostly dry in the rain, and with those bifold doors, it is definitely an underrated feature of this cabin. So I'm going to count this whole outdoor space as one of my favourite features. While it's a little bit cold while we're here right now, if this was summer and the whole place was warm, you'd have a huge space to socialise, to sit down, have a drink, lounge in the sun, make some food or some marshmallows on the fire pit. Some people could be in the hot tub. This whole area becomes an amazing kind of social space. So I'm going to pick this as one of my favourite features. But the absolute centre of this whole space is the main table. In a communal cabin, the dining table is the anchor that brings everyone together in one place. I love how the Mindtrack cabin puts friends and family at the centre of the experience. Whether it's braving some cold feet to head out on a frosty morning to enjoy some relaxing time in the hot tub as the sun comes up, or getting together in a group to cook up some marshmallows over the fire pit. And as the sun goes down, the fireplace becomes the focal point for the evening. And the next morning we were treated to a dusting of snow, which made for a truly perfect stay at the Mindtrack cabin. So thanks for tagging along on this short trip to Mindtrack cabin here at Liddel Waterlodges. If you want to book this space or know more about it, I'll leave a link in the description to their website. And if you want to see more videos like this, I've got loads on the channel. And if you enjoy these cabin videos, hit the subscribe button and I'll see you in the next one.